When you try to clean it from the front part after removing the heat sink, it can reach till here basically, but this part is not accessible. So this is what it looks like after removing the panels and removing the pump and then cleaning up this area. Hi, so we bought this Bosch dryer a couple of months ago. This is the series 4, and in the first couple of months there were no issues, it was running absolutely fine. However, soon we started getting one error where basically after running for 15 minutes this used to just pause in between and there used to be some warning. The error code was basically that there is some moisture in content found or something, that this condensation sink has too much water, even though we were cleaning this regularly, but there was some sort of an error in the sensor. So based on various YouTube videos, the first thing that we did was we tried to clean this area. So you have a heat sink here, remove that, and basically there is some water inside, which we made basically a homemade DIY wet vacuum to get this water out from here. So the first time we did that, it worked, and for the next couple of runs the error had gone, but the error came back, and we tried to do it. We thought we'll do it every week, so we tried to do it again, and the next time onwards it was not that effective. So the final solution to this was based on, we found it on YouTube, and there was one guy who has really done all the research, and I will link the video also so you can check it out. And basically the final solution is that you have to open it up and clean it, right? So you have to open up the left panel over here, and that's where the pump is, and there is some accumulation of this dirt and water where the pump is located, and that is not cleanable unless and until you open it, right? So I think if you call the Bosch maintenance guy, is going to do the same thing, but it is also doable on your own, and even though the steps seem complicated, it was actually pretty doable. So I have also tried it out based on this video that I have already linked, and it took me around 45 to 50 minutes. It's preferable if you are doing it by hand, it's going to take some time probably. It's preferable you have one of those screw guns which helps take those screws off easily without much effort, but even without that it should be fine. So I'll just in the next part I'll just show my experience of how to do this, and maybe this can also help you. And since I've done this, I did it last week around maybe 7 to 8 days back, and since then the issue has not occurred at all, so it's completely solved the problem. So even if I have to do it now in the future, maybe every once in a month or once in 2 months, I don't know what will be the frequency, but I think it is still fine because I've already bought this, and I don't want to call the maintenance every time this issue occurs. It is again, just to give a kind of a fair warning, that it is not very straightforward also. I mean, it is not something that they have definitely made easy. They could have definitely just provided some sort of a access point there, which could have we could have used to clean it up, but it is doable, right? So you can see the video, and then you can decide if it is something that you would want to do, or you can call a maintenance guy for doing it. Yeah, so now let's get started. So these are the tools that we'll be needing. So I've got this Bosch screw head set. I'll be using the T15 one. So I've got a screw gun, and I've already applied it here. So this is the T15 one, and you will also need a flathead screwdriver. So first, we need a little bit of space to make sure that you can do the work. Step number 1 is to clean that sump area just remove any extra water from there, so that when you have to tilt it in the later steps, you don't have to clean the floor. There could be a lot of water leakage at that time. So in order to clean it, you take this heat sink out, and this is the inside of it. You can see that already this much of water has come out. And this is also after we had cleaned it recently, so that you could have even more water. So first step is start from the back. We'll be removing this screw, and all the screws on the right side. So the screws are now unscrewed. So the top one here, second one here, third here, fourth. So these are of one type, and they look like this. Okay, so these are the top 4 screws, and then the bottom 2 screws, one here. I didn't have any screw here. Then the last one here, they look like this. Now we have to remove the condensate container. And to remove these screws, 1 and 2. To remove these screws, 1, 2 and 3. So as next step, we have to remove one screw from the bottom side here. So for that we have to lay the dryer down on its side, and we'll tilt it forward, but we'll put something here so that the glass part is protected, something soft like a towel. So I have put down this towel with a couple of folds, and now I'll tilt this forward. So there are 2 options here. I need to access the screw on this side. One, we can tilt it on the front, but here it's a little bit risky because the glass surface can get damaged. So we are trying to tilt it to the right so that we can access that side of the surface. So this is the dryer on its side, and this is the screw that we want to access. Okay, now with the screw removed, we'll again put it back into the upright position. Now you have to remove these 2 screws. So next you have to access 2 screws here. So we have to remove these 4 clips. So in order to access 2 screws behind this panel, we have to remove this 4 clips from here. Right. And we can see these 2 screws here. We have to remove these 2 screws. So now that all the screws are removed from the top and the side, we have to dislodge this panel. And in order to do that, there are some clips along this side. So we'll use the flathead screw for that. So you put the screw in, you have to push it in a bit, and then you have to just move the screw, turn the screw a little bit. Yeah, and that basically removes it. So you can see here that these were the clips that were holding it in together. So we just put the screwdriver in, and just twist it. So this is what it looks like after the side panel removed. And now we have to basically go to the motor here, remove the housing, and then try to disconnect the motor, and that will expose the area that needs to be cleaned. So in order to remove this housing, we have to first remove this screw. So now in order to remove this, you just have to pull it out,
just it comes out like this. In order to remove the pump, there are two connectors that we have to remove. So you just have to just push the top a little bit to this side and it will come out. And then there is one here also. It comes out quite easily. Okay. And then finally there is a push button here that also we can remove. Pause. Yeah, now we have to remove this black pipe from here, and we remove this pipe here, and that's it. And we can see this is the dirt that is accumulated. So this is what we need to clean. Yeah, so with some better light you can see here that this is the pump. After removing it, you have this area which needs to be cleaned. So when you try to clean it from the front part after removing the heat sink, it can reach till here basically, but this part is not accessible. So this is what I'm talking about. So from the front part, after we clean it from here, can reach till here. So this is what it looks like after removing the panels and removing the pump and then cleaning up this area. This is the final look from the top, from the back, and from the side. And this is the completed dryer after being put back together. And while putting it back together, I am not putting the screw that was at the bottom of this panel, so that next time we have to clean it, we don't have to do that tilting process. Apart from that, all the screws and everything is put back in place.